All right, what's good, y'all? This is the Kid DC Wrestling. I ain't gonna be too long on this topic. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet and straight to the point. But I've seen, most of the tweets and videos, and it's really been like popping up like crazy for the past like couple hours now. But I just been seeing a lot of the majority of a lot of the wrestling fans talking about how Cody Rhodes hasn't really felt anything during his title run. Like his title run is boring, it's stale. Oh, he like Cody Rhodes is already born as champion and everything. And first things first, man. Obviously Daniel Bryan, he said it the best. That wrestling fans are fickle. Obviously, majority of these people, or some of these people, that were clamoring for Cody to win the title. You gotta remember this whole stint at WrestleMania 40 happened because of the whole movement. We want Cody movement. Like they pushed The Rock and Roman out of there because they wanted Cody in the main event, and rightfully so. Like his story mattered more at the time than Rock versus Roman. But people pushed for Cody so hard that they literally had to pivot and say, okay, we can't do Rock and Roman. We gotta put that on the back burner for now and focus on putting Cody in his main event. But we're about you know I want to say maybe 3 4 months into his title run, and people again are just kind of like just already done with them, or really they're just like, oh god, I can't wait till he drop the title whenever. But honestly, we've seen this in the past. We'll see this in the future. I think majority of the reason why Cody Rhodes' title run hasn't felt like it should be, number one, is the booking. Like at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, booking like it plays a key factor. Writing, if you go out there and you're given shit material, it's gonna look bad 9 times out of 10 unless you're able to control it. But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna look bad. You know, my point is that you can kind of see it with Cody, and I've seen this a lot online. Is that he hasn't really had any like major heels outside of the bloodline, and then the majority of his feuds, they're not meaningful, and they're kind of like weak builds and short builds to the pay per view, and then we kind of move on to something else. Like the biggest story you can honestly say he's had throughout his title run so far is the Solo and Bloodline feud, because obviously he's feuded with the Bloodline in the past, so it's like, hey, let's get it, let's run it back. But his matches have been good. Don't get me wrong. Like that's one thing I say you can't take away from his title reign. His title matches have been really good. I say Solo was probably the least favorable one, but the AJ matches were fire. The match he had with Logan was fire. And even a 6 man tag, even though he didn't defend his title, that was pretty good too. But yeah, hey, it is, also you throw in the factor that Roman Reigns is back now, and I know there are people out there that don't like Roman Reigns, obviously, but it's like one thing you can't take away. The dude's the biggest star in the company, right? And with him being, back on SmackDown specifically, especially when he does show up, like Roman and the Bloodline, it's gonna be the biggest thing, you know, of the show. So when you add that plus the fact that Cody Rhodes is still WWE champion, Cody's gonna not really be looked at as that focal point or that number one guy on the show. I'm not saying he ain't getting crazy pops because he is, but realistically, people are gonna look at Roman as number one and Cody's number two, which obviously Roman told Cody, months ago, like, yeah, bro, I'm number one and you're number two. It's obviously easily to call yourself number one when the tribal chief ain't there. And then even again going back to the weak bills, people were saying that, even recently with Kevin Owens, oh, there's no story to it. There's no build to it. Like Cody was like, hey man, I appreciate you for helping me out. Like, here's your title shot, and then KO was like, I don't want to face you. So there you have it there. But even though the match is gonna be good at Bash of Berlin, but that's the majority of what I just been seeing online. So a lot of people just been saying Cody Rhodes sucks as champion. So we'll see what the WWE does for the next couple months. But I still think putting the title on Cody was honestly the right decision. Like at WrestleMania 40, because with the story, how the story was lined up and all that. Like it, for me, it made sense. But I don't know. If you guys are stumbling across this video by any chance, what do you guys think? Y'all think Cody sucks as champion, or his title run hasn't felt anything? You can put what you feel in the comment section. So.